Oh my god, you guys, I have a big update for you. It finally happened. I have a girlfriend. Not a video game girlfriend. A real girlfriend. In real life. And it's getting pretty serious, so I figured it was finally time I told you guys. Sorry ladies, you should have jumped on this while you had the chance. What's that? What's under my fingernail? Huh, tastes like spaghetti sauce. I haven't had spaghetti in like 3 days. Weird. I'll tell you the whole story about how I met my girlfriend and how we fell in love, how we just think about each other all the time and how we can't stand being apart and all that romance stuff. But I also thought this would be a perfect time to show you how to do something really, really cool. I want to play some retro games with my girlfriend because everyone knows playing Turtles in Time with your sweetie is the only way to strengthen your relationship. I'm going to set up a netplay game, so that even though we're not in the same spot right now, we can still play retro games. And I thought that maybe you too would want to play retro games with a special someone, so I can show you how to do that online with netplay. It doesn't have to be a super beautiful girl who loves you, like it's going to be for me, but it can be anyone for you. Even ugly people like your friends or relatives or whatever. If you have a friend who's into retro games and you want to play retro games together just using your retro doodads or however you like to play retro games, this video is for you. And yeah, I know you're super curious, so let me tell you the whole story about how I met my girlfriend and we fell in love. So there I was, on Twitter, the place where magic happens. I was making a post about my latest video, and then I noticed I had a comment on one of my posts. It was a girl. I opened up her profile page, and there she was, my beautiful angel, Brittany. And she said to DM her, and I did, and she actually replied, like right away. She must have been just waiting for me. I hope I don't make her blush by sharing our DMs in this video, but I'm just too in love not to. So she starts out like, hey cutie, I like you. And I'm like, oh yeah? Like? And she was like, yes, of course. I think you're super cute and cool. And we started talking, getting to know each other, just falling in love, sharing our hopes and dreams like lovebirds do. And then she offered to send me some pictures and man, I'm not going to show you those, but let's just say that old TechDweeb did all right. Anyways, she agreed to play some retro games with me online, and that's what we're gonna do. So I need to practice and make sure I'm ready, and I'll show you how to do it too at the same time. First, let's go over what you actually need to do this. You're gonna need some devices to play your retro games on. Now, this is a lot easier if you're both using the same, system. It doesn't need to be the exact same device, but the same operating system. So if you're playing on a Windows computer, if you both have Windows, or if you're both on an Android device, or even a Linux handheld, you should both be on the same operating system on that device. That's because we are going to be using RetroArch to play the games. And for this to work properly, both the host and the client need to be using the exact same RetroArch core, the same version. And the easiest way to do that is just to be on the same system with the same version of RetroArch. Because if one of you is on a Linux handheld and one of you is on a PC, and maybe the Linux handheld doesn't have the exact same cores updated that the PC version of RetroArch does, it might work if you're on different systems. It's worth a try, but if it doesn't work, that's probably why. I'm going to show you how to do this on 2 Android devices today. I'll be using my RG476H and my Retroid Pocket Classic, the one that I painted to look extra spiffy. And I'm gonna give a shout out to Lit NXT. They sent me this RG476H, so it's my job to say that you should buy it from them if you want one. They also have a holiday sale on right now and you can save 15% on any order. Link below. But I've also done this between 2 computers, both running RetroArch, and also on 2 Linux handhelds. As long as the OS is the same, it should work. The next thing you'll need is to make sure that both you and your girlfriend or gaming partner has the same ROM file. It needs to be the exact same file. I would never suggest that you just send them your ROM file because sending ROM files to people is piracy, and I would never suggest that you do such a thing. But if you did, that would be one way to guarantee it would work. And the last thing you need is a girlfriend. If you want one of those, I suggest you jump on Twitter or something and look for cute girls who are willing to chat. Don't bother talking to Brittany though. She's taken. So now that we have everything we need, let's get ready to play some games. I'll be showing you a sample game using my 2 devices, just to make sure that this is going to work. and then I'll play with my girlfriend. I'm sorry I keep bringing her up. I'm so excited. I can't wait till we move in together so we can just play retro games all the time. And also, I can't wait to actually meet her. Chatting in DMs is nice, but I'm sure once we meet, we'll be even more in love than we already are. And also, we'll play a ton of retro games, but playing online is the next best thing until then. The first step is to make sure that everything's updated. The way we'll do this is just open up RetroArch on your device, and then in the main menu, go to Online Updater and select Update Installed Cores. This will update your installed cores, obviously. And that's kind of it. I mean, if you run into problems and you suspect it's a compatibility thing, you can try to download the exact same version of RetroArch, either from the Play Store or from the website. Just make everything as consistent as possible. I've had good luck with compatibility, but on the times that I did have issues, just going with everything being the exact same always got it working. There are two sides to getting a game working, just like how there are two sides of a relationship. You know, like where a boy named TechDweeb from Canada falls in love with a girl named Brittany from Russia. Star-crossed lovers. Just like how we have star-crossed emulation devices. You have the host, which is the device that's going to be setting things up and running the game through a sort of temporary game server, which I'll show you. And then you have the client, and all they need to do is connect to the host to play the game. We'll start with the host. That'll be my RG476H. I freaking love this handheld. I gave it S tier in my recent Top Doodads of the Year video. Check out that video if you need a hand picking a good retro doodad. First things first, we need to make sure that we're connected to the internet. So just open up a website and make sure that your internet works. Yep, looks like mine's working real good. And now I'm going to start a game. You don't actually need to start a game. You can just start the host in RetroArch first and then start a game. But I have ESDE set up to load my game, so this is just easier for me to start RetroArch by starting a game that I want to play. Lots of Linux handhelds will have the same kind of setup. Just getting into your game is an easy first step. And then open the RetroArch menu using whatever hotkey you have set up. We're going to need to back out from the quick menu and get to the main menu. Actually, real quick, and this is optional, let's set a username. If you jump over to the RetroArch settings and then go to user and then username, you can set your name. And this is what will be displayed publicly if you broadcast your game. I'm going to set mine here to Dweeby Pie. That's my little nickname that my girlfriend calls me. Or you can skip this step and leave it blank if you don't have girls to impress. Okay, so now we're going to go back out to the main RetroArch menu, and in here is an option for netplay. And in here, since this is the host device, I'm going to pick host. There are lots of options in this section that you can mostly ignore. I'll go through some of them anyways. For max simultaneous connections, make this 4 if you're playing a 4-player game. But today it's just me and my sweetie, so I'm going to leave this at 2. And this option here, publicly announce netplay. This is if you want your game session to be listed in the big list of public servers. I usually leave this on because otherwise you're going to need to connect via the IP address, which is an extra step that I don't suggest you bother with because IP addresses give girls the ick. This option here, use relay server, this should really only be used for troubleshooting. If your gaming partner can't connect to you, it's worth turning this on to try it out because this helps with like port forwarding problems, which might be why you can't connect. Leave this off by default though. Server password. If you're broadcasting publicly and you don't want anyone getting in that you don't want in, then you should set a password. I'm going to set a temporary password for my little test game. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The rest of these options you can just leave on default because now we're ready. I'm going to pick Start Netplay Host from the top of this section and it will restart the game, and now this game should be joinable. Let's jump over to my other handheld and try to join. It's easier to connect rather than host because all you need to do is get RetroArch open, either open it by yourself or load any game and get into the menu and then back out to the main menu and open netplay. Now you have two main options here. If you're playing online, like if your girlfriend lives in Russia and you're playing over the internet, then you can go to refresh netplay host list. And if you are playing over your local network, like if your girlfriend moved to Canada and you live together because you love each other, like mine will be soon, then you can pick refresh netplay LAN list. Because I'm on my local network here for this test, I'm going to pick the LAN list. If you pick the host list, you'll see a big long list of games. And in here, you should look for the game that you're trying to connect to. If you set your username, that's what the server will be called. If you're on the LAN, then there's probably just going to be the one game. That's what we have here. See, there's my LAN game, Dweeby Pie. So I can pick that. And now I need to enter the password 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
That's the kind of thing an idiot would have on his luggage.
And boom, I'm connected. So the way this works is the host device is player 1 and the second device is player 2. Both players see the same thing because that's how retro games are. You know, like when you have a Super Nintendo game on the TV, you're both looking at the TV and you each have a controller. That's kind of what's going on here. So I'll start a 2-player game on the host device and each player can pick their turtle. The screens are synced up, as you can see. And this is what it's going to be like if you play online too. You're both going to be seeing the same thing. Let's go with Donnie and Mikey for this little demo. And yeah, you can see I can move around on this guy and you can see it over here. And this one over here, I can move and it shows up over here. If you somehow get disconnected, don't panic. Just reconnect with the client device. If the host resets the game or resets netplay, you're going to need to start from the beginning. But as long as the host device has a game going, you should be good. If the host drops connection or if the host ends the game, the client device will now control player 1. But in this game, as you can see, there's 2 players and I can't do anything as player 1 because player 2 is just stuck there. So my only choice here is to restart the game. So if you're a client and the host wants to quit, but you want to keep playing Ninja Turtles, you're going to need to get player 2 out of the game, like to lose all their lives or whatever, if that makes sense. Yes, it does. And that's it, really. This exact same process is what you got to do if you want to play between 2 PCs or 2 Linux devices. I've done this between devices running Newly or Amberlix Stock OS or Rocknix. As long as both devices have the same version of RetroArch and the same core and the same game, you should be good. This is not how you connect to other devices to do system link cable style multiplayer. That's a whole different type of multiplayer, and I'm not going to be getting into that here. But let me know in the comments if you want a tutorial about how to do that, and maybe I can make another video about that stuff. But right now, I've got a hot date with my girlfriend, and we're ready to get this romantic netplay game a-going. Okay, so I have a cute idea. My relationship with my girlfriend is getting pretty serious. We've sent like 100 messages and exchanged pictures, and now Brittany wants to bump up our relationship to the next level. So we decided to merge our finances to get ready for when Brittany moves to Canada, and we can use my life savings to put a down payment on a house that we can buy together and settle down and get some pet turtles and play retro games for hours and hours a day, among other things. So she needs my Bitcoin password, and I thought, oh, you're gonna love this. I thought I would make the password for our game the same password for my Bitcoin account. Isn't that romantic? Okay, so here I'm going to start the netplay server and I'll put in my Bitcoin wallet code. I'm not going to show that to you because I don't want to get scammed or anything. Okay, there we go. And now I'll start the server. Okay, turtles in time. Ready for our hot date. All right, here we go. Oh, I'm so excited. I'm sending her the password. Okay, she has it. And she's going to join into the game any second now. Turtles in time. With my girlfriend. Just gotta wait till she joins. With the password, she's gonna join. My Bitcoin password. I wonder if she's having connection issues. Oh, weird. She's not answering my messages. It's been a long time. I hope she's okay. Brittany? Oh crap.